We here at Bobchat like to think we help shape our nation's youth, but unless you want your children to grow up like us, we suggest only listening with other inebriated adults.
El primero podcast en Canadá, Bobchat.
And we're just sitting here, cranking a few beers, hacking a couple darts, and shooting the shit, you know?
You ever had a Choco Taco?
No, but the voice you just heard is, of course, one of the pioneers of Bobchat, Griffin. He's here.
Thanks for having me on, Bob.
That's why we're talking tacos. He's been in Mexico. Spencer is here as well. Spencer Thompsett, Griffin's brother, but also a close and dear friend of Bob and Bobchat. Happy to have you guys here. What's going on?
Yeah, we're just here on vacation. Thought we'd stop by, do a quick Bobchat.
Yeah, actually, okay, why don't we tell the real story? Oh, it took a lot of convincing. And so the other day, I had to go over to Jacob's house. You guys know I talk about Jacob. He's a boy's godfather. Pick up some stuff for the boys, some water wings and shit. And Griffin had left his weed in my car. And he's like, and I totally forgot to check, and I get there, and he's like, oh, is the weed in the car? So I got it for him, and he's like, all right, this is like, puts me at like a 75% wanting to do Bobchat. I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
I was lying. It was solid 85%.
Solid 85?
Yeah, I just love busting your balls, Bob.
I know you do.
Nah, he's in demand. He's got all sorts of
Popular guy,
podcasts
what
trying
can
to
I
get him
say?
on, trying to book him.
Yeah, Bobchat
he's
is blowing up.
big in demand.
But you know what I tell him? I tell him I got exclusive contract with Bobchat Podcast.
Oh, is that why I had to sweeten the deal to get you over here?
Yeah.
So me and Griffin paint Warhammer. Everybody knows that. It's okay, Spencer. You can call us nerds if you want.
You guys paint dolls, man. I don't care what you guys do. Like
They're
live your lives.
they're tabletop war miniatures, bro.
Yeah. All right.
So Griffin was all cheese at me because he went to Mexico for 2 years and he left a can of like the primer paint for the models here, and he's mad that I didn't just. It was like not even a full can, Griffin.
He's trying to defend using the primer.
Oh my god, there was not even that
It's
much.
okay, Bob. I don't mind.
So anyways, so I ordered more because he was pretty upset that that it was gone after 2 years, and I was like, how about this? This will get you to 100%. I got the paint. And then I think that's what it was. And he also, he wants to tell me about Mexico, but Spencer, I'm glad you're here too, because...
My name's Spence.
Spence, sorry. Yes, you guys live with...
I'm walking out. This is me walking out right now.
Sorry, I didn't mean to call you Spencer. Spence is here. And Spence was also living in Mexico. You guys know. Actually, what was the last episode you guys were on? You guys were both on another episode together.
That would have been probably last summer.
Right before we left.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So, like, that could have been in, like, the 20s. This is going to be, like, late 40s, this episode. Probably episode 47.
Really getting up there.
Yeah, right? And we, honestly, this is probably where Bobchat's going to peak. We're going to be like, okay, you guys are here. You're back from Mexico. It doesn't get better than this.
Oh, no.
I'm waiting
There's
for
always
that
the next time.
Bass Pro Shops sponsorship.
Yeah.
Is what I'm waiting for.
Yeah,
I mean, even Raid Shadow Legends. Like, we don't need to be
Yeah.
too particular.
Yeah, welcome back to Bobchat.
Sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
That wasn't a rage beer you heard, but also Busch Light. So yeah, tell me what it's been like for you guys the last couple of years. Where have you been? Tell us where you've been.
Been all over.
Like couple years or last
Yeah,
year?
like since
Because
you...
we were
It's only
here
been
last
a year.
summer.
Okay, I know,
Still
but
here.
since you were here...
I know
last-
it just feels like a really long time.
Oh my god, it
you
does
miss us
feel
so
like a
much.
long time. But anyways, tell us about Mexico. Tell us where you were in Mexico. I don't know anything. Like I didn't really know what you guys were up to because every time I'd video chat with Griffin, he's just like, "Hey, here I am drinking on a beach." I'm like, "Fuck you, Griffin." So yeah, like where were you guys? You were in Mexico, obviously.
Mostly in the state of Jalisco, which is kind
Jalisco?
of like the west coast, kind of in the middle. Once
Yeah.
you get like underneath the peninsula.
The Jalisco province.
Jalisco state. And,
Ooh, state's a state.
Well, and like usually, like when we would go and visit Mexico in the past, we would always go in the winter.
Yeah.
And the coast of Mexico during our winter is beautiful. Like it's like the perfect climate, but
It's like there's summer that time of year.
yeah, essentially.
Yeah. Okay.
But during our summer, there's a lot of humidity and a lot of rain, so
Yeah.
it's not really like the best place to be hanging out. Like really hot, like 40.
Like there.
Yeah, with the
wow.
humidity and everything.
So basically, you just live in Mexico full time, and then you winter in Canada.
Well, no. So what we do
It's
is
summer here.
So, but it's like for it's half the year. So what we've been doing is going up into the mountains where it's cooler and it's got different weather. So you kind of and it's not even that far. It's like a 5-hour drive or so. Up
Yeah, that's
into the
not bad.
mountains.
I'm still sweating my ass off up there.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
it doesn't- Yeah.
Yeah,
for
during
me,
the
it doesn't
day,
change
especially
anything.
like when the sun is out, like it's
Yeah.
still hot, but at night it's not like there's no humidity. And
Well,
it's-
and you got to think too,
cools
like
down.
you guys like have basically lived, the majority of your lives in Canada, right? So you get acclimatized, and I know that I mean, it's been like 2 years, but it's tough to totally reclimatize your body to any environment. I would
Yeah.
think. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I don't have all the answers.
do feel that because even before, like it's been a while since we've really like hung around here in the winter,
Yeah.
and I do feel that like the effects of winter more so after not having to put up with them for a few years. You definitely feel it a lot more.
Yeah, well, so let's go province. So you guys are there, as everyone knows. You guys are there with from the last time you were on the Bobchat. You guys were there with your mom and dad and your grandpa.
Our uncle too.
Our
Pretty
uncle,
much our
too.
whole family.
Yeah, that's
is down there.
amazing. So what's some? Tell me about what you guys have been doing. Give me some stories. I know you got Spence. I know you got someone. Come on, he's smiling.
So-
He's smiling. You can't see him, but
The last time we were on here, we were kind of unsure what
About-
was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, we were kind of like, we quit our jobs, or I quit my job, and we were kind of like unsure how the year would go.
Yeah.
This year going back, I feel like we have more, like we know what to expect and we know what we're going to do.
yeah. So I can imagine, like when you first got there, like for sure, like you're kind of
Yeah.
unsure about what's happening.
Like I was
right?
unemployed for a while, and then I recently just got a job for a company out in Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
So the plan
Sick.
is this time around I want to like get my own place like on the beach.
Yes.
And be like just edit inside and then be able to go out and swim in the ocean whenever I
swim in
want.
the ocean, have pictures of margaritas.
And just have a bit more disposable income, right?
Yeah, well, that'd be good. So what have you guys been doing down there? Walk me through like the first couple of months when you like now that you guys have been doing work and stuff. Obviously, that takes a bit of your time, but you know what I mean. What were you guys doing?
Well-
it's always a bit of a culture shock in the beginning. 'cause
Yeah.
it is a lot different, and
What are some of the differences?
So, okay, you can go first if you want, but I got one right off the top of my head.
Yeah, lay it on us.
Is in Mexico, like people. First of all, there's as many, if not more, motorcycles on the streets
Than cars.
and trucks.
Okay.
So right off the bat, that's a big one. And then the fact that like people just ride in the back of pickup trucks. So it's like you see pickup trucks with like 5-6 people in the back every day.
Yeah.
So it's actually kind of weird coming here and seeing empty beds.
Okay.
Pickup truck
That
beds.
makes sense. Yeah, but I mean, why not though, right? Like, fucking rules. All these laws, can't ride in the back of a pickup
Well,
truck.
and-
That's bullshit.
Well, and being able to like, for instance, like drink outside. Like here, it's a big no-no.
yeah,
But
right.
like I went to a Stag and Doe the other day, and the girl at the desk is like, "Oh, you can't leave to go out and out to the outside area with a drink, right? Or they could like lose
Well, you
their
can't go
license or
smoke a
something."
joint while you have a beer
Exactly.
or a cigarette. Yeah, that's
And
stupid.
like in Mexico, that's not a thing. Like you could like go to the variety store, buy a beer, crack it, and walk home drinking it.
Yeah, that's
It's
amazing.
It's not a thing.
Do they still allow like smoking inside, like cigarettes?
So like technically no, like pretty much but like
I would say yes,
in
actually.
practice though, especially on the beach, there is a lot of places where like you like
think
whereas,
of Las Americas.
yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah,
Literally
yeah.
everybody. And that would be a place like in a big city downtown. Like it would
Okay.
be a place you'd expect
Yeah.
them to say no.
Yes.
And everybody's
So,
got
yeah.
cigarettes.
Yeah. Okay.
I would
It
say
depends
yes.
on the place. It depends on the place, but it's not like here where it's like 100% you can't. There it's
Yeah.
like you probably can unless
by case.
otherwise.
So you know what's crazy? That's a difference. Here we can't smoke cigarettes inside, but I could just walk anywhere and smoke dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, don't move to a country just because you couldn't smoke inside. It's not like necessarily like a
It
good
might be
thing,
high
but
on somebody's priority list.
Yeah,
you never
that's
know.
like, I mean,
you
yeah.
leave every bar feeling like an ashtray.
Yeah, the next
So-
day, when you go to a campfire,
Yeah.
it's like all your clothes smell like cigarette smoke the next day. I don't like that part of it.
Yeah. Okay.
When
Okay.
I'm sure you're breathing in some secondhand smoke and all that, but
Well, yeah. If you're inside and there's a bunch of people
Secondhand
smoking,
takes.
secondhand. So if we were talking about vapes earlier, and what did you say? If she doesn't what, then leave her.
Oh, if she doesn't make clouds, send
You
her
gotta
to the
say it
pound.
in the voice though. If she
If
doesn't.
she doesn't rip clouds, send her to the pound.
Amazing.
Or kick her out of town.
Yeah, oh shit. We got MC Spence in the house. It's Bobchat. It's Bobchat Rap Hour. What up? So okay, what about you, Spence? What's a big difference that you noticed? Because I mean, you guys have lived in a lot of different places. I mean, Griffin especially, and I know that you've been around a little bit too, right? So it's I mean, I'm sure you guys have experienced so many different cultural things, right? And I mean, because you get so used to the same things all the time, right?
I guess it's just getting used to the fact that like we have weird accents in another culture that we don't know a ton about. So
Yeah,
we're gonna
so you
do
guys-
things that are weird. People
You
are
guys
gonna
stick out.
constantly like,
Yeah.
what did he say? What did he do?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they're
yeah.
confused a lot of times. And I mean, they give us the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna.
So when you say that,
anything.
just like your mannerisms.
My sense of humor does not translate because they take everything very literally because they know we don't speak
Oh.
much Spanish. So if I say something that sounds wrong,
Yeah.
like I like to roast my friends. Like that's how we show
Yeah. Of course.
that we like each other, right?
If you can't make fun of your friends, who can you make fun of?
Yeah, but you do that to someone you don't know. Like here, you probably get away with it because they can tell you're joking.
Yeah,
There,
'cause
they can't tell.
Yeah. So
So
now,
you can't do that.
now let me ask you this. Now, in the Mexican culture, what about sarcasm? Does sarcasm translate?
I think if you were fluent in Spanish, it
Yes.
would work.
Okay.
They'd get it. You'd say the right words and they'd get it. But
Yes.
for us, I've had trouble with
They
that.
would just think that you're an asshole.
Yeah,
See, I
because
never-
they know you don't know that many words, so they're like, he wouldn't fuck this up, right? Like, there's no way he'd have enough grasp on Spanish to like for this to be what he actually means,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's hard to have a lot of nuance when you're speaking in a second language.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Griffin. Yes, very well said. So that's a big difference. So now, okay, so tell me about what you guys were doing though. Come on, I know you got a couple crazy stories. Come on, whatever.
I mean,
anything.
It's
I'll
funny-
tell you one. You want to hear like a one night stand story?
Sure, why not?
I only did it once.
Whatever you're comfortable with telling us.
I went
All
when I
right,
first
set the
got
mood.
there.
Set the mood. Mexico.
We were staying in this city called Ajijic,
Nighttime.
which is kind of a retirement community, we'll say.
Oh
So I was-
shit!
I
Did
was
you get
bored.
a cougar?
No, but I was just bored, so I went on Tinder and I lined up like a couple dates to go to the city,
Yeah.
and I went.
So how far is the city from where you guys
It's
live?
like 45 minutes. It's like a bus.
pretty
So,
short, right?
just for like a size comparison, so we live in London, Ontario. It's what, like 380,000 people. How many people live in the town where you
Couple
guys
million?
No. The
No,
town,
like the town
we
that
live
you
in.
live in.
Oh,
Is it like going from
10,000?
London, London to Toronto?
No.
So
Not
the,
even.
the town
No.
we live in is like on a lake, like so. There's kind of like smaller communities like spread out around the lake, right? Like
Okay.
and there's a highway that goes around it.
Yeah,
The big city that we go into,
yeah.
Guadalajara,
Yes.
is probably getting like Toronto size, like at least like 2, 3, 4, 5
Really?
million. Yeah, it's a big city.
Okay. So you lined up a couple dates, take him into the big city. If you play with the cat, you're gonna get scratched. Biggie, stop. Just move your hand away from him. He'll stop.
Don't tell me what to do.
You're
Bob's
in
like,
it.
I'm gonna have so much editing on this episode.
Oh my god, I know. So you lined up the dates. You're taking them into Guadalajara. Night on the town with the Spence man.
Yeah. So I went.
So did you
and
meet all three of them at once?
It was just two, and the first one went like really bad. Like we couldn't even communicate.
So
And she
you
was
like time these dates so that if they went bad, you could just take the next date?
No, that would have been smart. I just kind of like met one in the morning and one in the evening.
Yeah,
The one
okay.
I thought would go better, but the first one, I don't know. For some reason, I just thought we'd figure it out, but
It was not happening.
she had no clue what I was saying, and I had no clue what she was saying, and I could tell that like if we both spoke the same language, there'd be chemistry. But like,
Yeah.
we couldn't even understand each other, and we were just like doing that app back and forth.
Oh, okay.
But I was just like, "There's no way."
I can't
this is
spend an
gonna
entire
work.
day apping back and forth or something.
Yeah, like I was like, yeah, I just thought that wouldn't be a thing. So that we just kind of like we're like, okay, see ya.
See you
And then
later.
never saw her again,
Adios.
but the second one, she spoke like a bit of English.
Okay, so
And
you were
I
able to
spoke a
kind
bit
of break
yeah,
that
like it was
barrier a little
enough
bit.
where it felt
Yeah.
like more like we were on the same playing field. So I was like 24. She was like 22, I think, or something. Like she's in like
Okay.
college.
Yeah.
So she was like taking classes.
Oh.
So she was like practicing her English.
Oh, that's good.
And we went out to like a club and stuff, and we were like dancing or whatever.
Dancing.
And man, I can't dance for shit, really. Like, everybody there is just born, like, in the womb they're dancing.
What about
And
you,
they all,
Griff?
like,
Can you
they all
dance?
know the, like, the rhythm for every song, and I'm just,
Amazing.
like, I'm like a pole.
So awkward.
I just stand there like a stop sign. And, like, people just come up and try to dance with me, and I'm
And
like,
are
I'm
you,
just
like-
going to step on your feet.
And you're like the tallest person there, probably.
Easily. Like, I can't even see, like, when you're dancing with them, you can't even see their feet. Like, how am I supposed to even know, like,
Yeah.
the rhythm?
So you're the tallest guy and you don't know how to dance.
No. But that didn't matter that night.
I
'cause
still
I'd had a
I
few-
still love that nightclub.
Yeah. I got a few shots of tequila in me, so I was, I was feeling loose and limber. And so we did that for a couple hours, and then she was like, "Hey, do you want to?" Something I like about Mexican girls is they're very like upfront. Like they're not gonna like, "Oh, do you want to like go like have some?" Like she's like, "No, do you want to come to my house and like do this?" And I was like, "Sure."
Yeah.
And she said the only caveat is that I live with my parents, right? So they're both not home right now. My mom is fine, but if my dad somehow comes across you while you're in the house, like it's gonna be a big problem for both of us.
Oh, really?
I was like, what do you mean by like
Like
both
he's
of,
gonna beat
yeah.
you with like a 2x4.
She didn't say that, but she just said like it's gonna be a problem for both of us. And I just kind of like, well, I probably shouldn't go there. But then my wiener was like, nah, bro, we got this.
Amazing.
So I went back to her house.
No, we got this. It's okay, little Spence. We got this.
Exactly. But where we went, I didn't know where I was in the city. Like it was at night, so
Yeah,
like, I
it
had
can be
no
it
clue
can be
where
dangerous,
I was.
right?
No clue what.
Well, you're in
It could be kind of sketchy.
Well, you're
place
in a
I
foreign
was.
country.
Guadalajara at night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the area felt like where we went for that bridal.
Yeah.
That's the area it felt like we went. Like it was like a 20-minute drive.
Where? What are you talking
We'll
about?
talk about that after.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us after this story, so you can't just mention something and not tell us.
And this was also in the first like couple months we were there. I think it was like it was pretty.
So you're still kind of like adjusting to like
yeah.
living in a foreign country, and
I think it was like the third time I went there. And I went there a
okay.
bunch while we were there. But
so-
anyway, basically we went to her like kind of how the houses are all squished together there.
yeah,
Because it's a big city. So it's kind of like this.
Yeah.
Like all the houses are kind of like connected together.
yeah.
So I went in there and she had like two brothers like playing PS4 in like the living room, and they just looked at me and then just like looked back like they didn't give a shit.
Yeah, they don't
And then we went up, and then right before we like did anything, she like reminded me, like she was like, by the way, if my dad comes home, it's gonna be bad. And I was like, and like
You're already in the house.
Just what
What do
you
you
want.
do?
and I
here.
feel like it just never like the whole time I was just
Never
thinking
clicked.
about this fucking chick's dad like coming home. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't even like get it out of my head. And then
So hot.
he did come home. So
Well,
I
you
hear
were-
the truck coming. Like they have these like Nissan hardbody trucks. Everybody has one.
Yeah.
And I heard the car. They have to like get out and like open the gate.
Yes.
And then drive and then get back in the truck and like drive it in.
So you heard him open the gate. So it
So I
gives you
heard him
ample.
open the gate.
Gives you ample time to slip away into the
And-
night, into the Guadalajara evening.
Yeah. So she said this in Spanish, but I like kind of got what she was saying, where she was like, just go out the window and there's like the eave where the rain goes through, like
Yeah,
the
like the
eavesdrop. She's like,
eavesdrop.
you just climb that down. And I look out and it's like pretty high up. I was like, this is like pretty high.
Like 2 stories,
And I look
3
at
stories?
this, it's like rusted out. Like I'm weigh 200 pounds. Like, this thing's gonna break. So I kind of weighed my options and I was like, either I
Get killed by her dad or
I
die falling off
died
the
off the
window.
thing. And I kind of just thought, like, if I just kind of run downstairs and out the door, like, what is he gonna like?
What's he gonna do,
Really?
chase
Like,
you?
He might yell at me, but like, whatever.
So
So I
did you
decided, like, fuck this. Like, it's gonna be awkward, but I'm just gonna go out through the house. I was like, maybe I should like act like I don't know, like I'm like like
Just
a
sit down,
DoorDash guy.
sit down and start playing PS4
or like
with the
hold a
brothers.
pizza box, like I was just delivering pizza or something. But basically, she went down first and like tried to like see if he was gonna like I don't know, like take a shower or like, and then I could wait and then
Yeah.
leave. But he would like went right to the kitchen. He like brought home like meat. And
Yeah.
he was like starting to like cut up.
So he's
for,
holding
like-
a knife.
Yeah.
So you're
It
trying
was
to
also really late at night, so I was kind of confused why he was like making dinner or whatever. But
Yeah, he's just chopping up like a huge like.
he was
roast.
literally chopping meat when I went down. Like she was like, "Listen, like he's gonna be in the kitchen for like you gotta go buy him or whatever."
for hours.
Because I was like, I'm not going out this window.
Yeah.
Like I went out and I started and I went, I can't do this. Like it was like moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I was like, it's just gonna bend and I'm gonna fall.
Jostling.
So I go downstairs.
Griffin, have you heard this story before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's why you're not very into it. So you go downstairs.
I just go downstairs and then he just kind of like yells at me a little bit, but I was just out.
Did
so
you hear
he's
what
yelling,
he said?
And the brothers are just laughing. And I just got outside and I just walked down the road a couple blocks and then I found a taxi and went to my hostel.
Wow.
That's about it.
That's crazy. So you almost got killed by some Mexican Tinder date.
He didn't threaten me or anything. Like maybe he did, but he just yelled at. Like he didn't even like walk over to me.
Your Tinder date's dad in Mexico almost killed you with a knife.
Sure, that can be like the
would have
cliff
been an
note.
awkward situation at the least.
Hey, you made it out.
I decided to never like do it again. Basically, I was like, I'm not gonna do that again.
Well, and it's and I mean, I think it's like anywhere, right? I mean, you need to be careful. What about you, Griff? You got a story for us about Mexico?
Well, what we were talking about before is we went into the same city, Guadalajara, for like a family friend's baby shower.
Yeah.
But like Spence and I are there, and we're like chilling, just like they had like a taco catering, of course, and we're
how many
stuff.
tacos have you guys eaten?
Jeez.
Oh God, like what was our record that one day? Like
so
for one sitting.
Now Griffin said to me the other day that you guys apparently eat tacos every day.
No.
He said every day.
I said almost every day.
Oh, okay. Almost. So what is almost every day? How many?
All the time. Like it's like if you want a taco, you can
get a taco.
Because where we live, there's not like fast food restaurants all over the place.
There's like food carts and stuff.
Yeah, there's not like McDonald's and like Harvey's and all this. It's like there's like local people that have like restaurants.
Yeah.
And a lot of those are taquerias.
Okay,
right?
very cool. So like, what's your record? How many tacos? Like, are you talking about like a day?
In one sitting.
Oh my God!
In one meal,
like a taco eating contest.
I think we pushed like 12, 13 each.
Honestly,
for me, probably 10.
Yeah, honestly though, even
the one
10,
time,
Pastor.
Yeah.
even El Pastor is like pork, right?
Oh.
Correct.
I hope so.
I think it is
yes,
pork.
it's pork. It's
It's
like
so
shredded.
good.
It could
too,
be
they-
like intestines. I wouldn't even know.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
so delicious.
They cook it sort of like they do shawarma here,
Yes.
like where they put it on the spit and then they shave it off.
Yeah, it's pork.
Put it in the taco with little bits of pineapple, and then you dress it up with all the toppings and stuff.
Amazing. But like, dude, you ate 13 tacos in one sitting.
It's a lot.
I think it was 12. I don't want to overhype it.
Let's think of like, dude,
How dare you lie on Bobchat?
Yeah.
like
yeah,
that?
what the fuck, Griffin? Come on.
Integrity is in our core values.
I'm trying to have integrity.
Yeah.
Integrity.
Welcome back to Bobchat. We're here with Griffin, a pioneer of Bobchat, and Spence. You know him, you love him. They've been in Mexico. If you're just tuning in, some people skip ahead. You never know.
Okay. I got a story I can kick off.
But hold on, before you kick that off, let's just think about that for a second. Let us know, Bobchat listeners, how many tacos you think you could eat in one sitting? Because that's a lot. Griffin said he ate 12 to 13 tacos. Where did you like?
You got to remember too, for like the listeners at home, like the tacos that they have out in Mexico are completely different beasts than anything you're getting.
Can you
here in
describe to
Canada.
us what it's like?
Like they're small corn tortillas. Like I'd say probably maybe 3 inches.
Oh, okay.
Inches
So
across.
let's do the math.
I don't wanna-
from Mexican taco value to Canadian taco value.
'Cause here-
how many Canadian tacos is
I
13?
haven't had a taco here in so
No,
long.
I wouldn't.
Why don't you guys? Oh, you guys are good. You want to come over on a Tuesday? We could do it any day, taco day.
But
I
do you
do
do
like
the
that.
like where you cook the beef and then you have that like seasoning mix where you put it in?
Yeah, that's everybody.
I can't do that.
It's not a
shit.
taco,
I
dude.
Okay,
can't do
well,
that.
let's teach me how to make real tacos.
Do you use corn or flour tortillas?
Well, I'll use what I've used corn before. The little corn ones are good. You go to we went to a Mexican restaurant. Whatever we have.
So that place that
Don't
we went
judge
to.
me because I'm not up on my. Griffin's
I'm
giving me
just
like the
bugging
eye.
you.
Like
I'm just bugging
what
you.
kind of? Those are the kind of tacos
Well,
you make.
what you're talking about is Tex-Mex. It's not even
Tex-Mex. Yeah, no,
like
what
the
we-
hard shell tacos are not.
Okay,
tacos.
I don't
no
want the
such
Tex.
thing.
I want the real shit. Let's go to a Mexican restaurant. There's one over here.
Yeah, that place that you and I went to when I was here last time was very authentic.
They were so
tacos.
blown away when Griffin started speaking Spanish. They're like,
yeah.
"Oh my god, really? Yeah, oh yeah." They're like, "Hello, how are you?" Right? And Griffin's like, "Blah blah 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 blah" in Spanish, and then they're like, right away, like the lady's eyes just lit up.
She
She was
gave
like,
us-
"Oh my god!"
She gave us the real hot sauce. She's like, "This is the hot sauce that I put out for like the people that know what they're doing."
Yeah.
Crazy fact though, they don't even use ground beef. there.
Yeah.
No, really?
No.
So what are we talking?
Just
what
for
kind,
burgers.
What kind of meat
So,
are we
like,
talking about?
look,
Like authentic Mexican tacos. What kind of meat are
So
we
it's
talking?
like, first of all,
listen. This is what I want you to do for me. I want you to. I want the best taco you've had. All dressed up. What's going on?
okay. So it's
Build
like,
me a taco, bro. Welcome back to Bobchat. Build me a taco.
first off the bat, most important thing, the meat that you're getting is most often like butchered that day. Right?
Wow, fresh.
Right, like it's like they're getting all of the meat dropped off that day, right? So it's
Amazing.
fresh, right? And then usually it's like they would take
I killed this morning.
yeah, and then they take the like carne asada or like whatever kind of cut of meat it is, and then they take,
So are we talking like generally like beef?
it could be beef, pork, chicken,
But it's not like ground beef though.
no,
right?
no. So this is what I'm getting to.
Yes,
So basically, they have like a big chopping block. They put the chunks of meat.
Oh,
down.
just like Spencer's Tinder Dates dad.
exactly.
Shout out Jorge.
That's the way it's done. And so you have like a big kind of meat cleaver,
Yeah.
and you just you basically chop it into like small bits and fry it up. Or the El Pastor, like we talked about, is from the spit. Chorizo, they're gonna fry it. Like it's like they basically take the sausage,
Yeah.
cut it up the same way.
Take the sausage.
Yeah.
Griffin
Okay, that's
cutting.
another funny aside is we have a local taqueria a couple blocks from our place up in the mountains, and Guillermo, one of the guys that worked there, we ended up like hanging out with. He like took us out one night, showed us around the town.
Out on the
and stuff,
town
and-
with Guillermo, paint that shit red. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and we were basically like, he's learning English and we're learning Spanish, so we were doing the kind of a language exchange too.
Okay, that's cool.
And he started laughing one time when I was basically saying that I like loved chorizo sausage, like it was like the best kind of sausage. And he just kept laughing, and he's like, you can't say that. You can't say like it's like what did I say? It's like
I like Genoa sausage.
It's like I think I said like me encanto chorizo. There's absolutely no way to say that you love chorizo sausage without it having sexual connotations.
Really? There's
Yeah.
no. It's not.
There's no way to do it.
You just call it chorizo. You don't call it sausage.
No, even if you just say chorizo, because that's
If you
also
say, like,
What is the literal
they're like,
trans?
hey, what do you want? You're just like El Chorizo. They're
no.
not gonna be like,
Now, what
oh
is
my
it?
God.
What is
Oh
it?
yeah, no. But if you're saying that you like chorizo,
Oh,
there's no way
yeah.
you can't even say like me gusta chorizo
Gotcha,
and it not
gotcha.
have
Now
sexual connotations.
is chorizo like just like the type of sausage
So,
that it is?
oh my god! So it's like one of those huge sausages, like where it's a massive coil.
Yeah,
like a huge coil.
Dude, if the meat comes in coil form, then you know it's good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's like fresh stuff too, and it's spicy, and it's
probably
just
all
like,
like the bad shit though.
yeah,
low
and it is
key.
for
Like, it's
sure,
probably
but it's so
probably not
good.
Oh, whatever, it's delicious.
I don't want to
so
see it
good.
being made, but it's
Yeah, but I'll eat it. I'll eat it any day of the week, and you fry it up.
I just made this
Oh, it
chorizo
gets
this
crispy.
morning.
yeah.
Okay, so that's cool. So, yeah, sorry, I'm all high.
I think the best kind of taco though overall.
Yes, tacos.
Is,
that's what we were.
so
That's what we
there's-
were tacoing about.
There's
Hey,
I'm a dad now.
we'll get to that after this.
Okay,
but
okay.
there's birria or barbacoa tacos where they take like the meat. It could be like goat or beef,
I love when you speak Spanish.
and
to me.
they slow cook it
Yes,
for
Griffin.
24 hours, right? In a big
Yeah.
pot, cook the meat for the next day, right? Like
Yeah.
so they're cooking the next
So they're like
day's meat.
slow cooking it.
24 hours slow cook in a pot over a stove usually.
That sounds amazing.
So then they take the meat out, and that's going to be the filling for the barbacoa tacos. And then you basically they like pull it, kind of like pulled pork, put it into the tacos. Always two tortillas.
Always two.
Always two tortillas. They put that in with a bit of cheese, like queso fresco, and then they close it up and they fry it on either side.
And the most important part is they use their kids as child labor.
Of course.
Always.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Your
always
waitress
some,
is like an 8-year-old girl.
Yeah, it's always.
Yeah, I mean it's like Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, and then the most important part, the consomme.
And then you got to. I wish you could see Griffin's hands.
Yeah.
He's just like putting his hands up, like the most important part.
Yeah.
The consomme,
The consomme,
which is like it's the juices that they cooked the.
So
meat
we're
in.
talking like meat, like the gravy.
It's like it's
More
it's,
drink. You wouldn't want to drink a cup of gravy.
yeah.
but
It's
like more
thin.
like bone
it's
broth.
thin.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
And it's just absolutely
Yeah,
delicious.
so you
And
get
they
that
give you a little cup, and then so when you get your tacos, You open them up. They're real hot because they fry them to get them crispy. You put your like cilantro, your onion, your salsa.
Do you guys do lime? Do you ever do lime?
Yeah, lime, of course.
Yeah, of course.
It goes without saying. And then you dunk it into the little cup of consommé.
Ooh, kind of like an au jus.
And exactly.
Yeah, it's very good.
And you eat it, and then at the end you drink the rest of your consommé. It's got little bits of beef in it from dunking. Oh,
dude, it's like here we are in Canada eating chicken lasagna for dinner like fucking chumps.
Well,
peasants.
And that's what I was gonna say. They're about 50. They work out to about 50 cents each there, depending on where you go.
Oh my god, dude, I'd be eating them every day.
But I went to Sunfest.
You know me, I love any kind of food that's in a wrap form.
Yeah,
sign me up. Right? You're gonna tell me that wrap formed food is not the best?
It's definitely more convenient, especially when driving.
He buys all his meat from M&M's and he's the wrap god.
We actually did have a chicken lasagna from M&M's. And
I thought that was homemade, Bob. I thought that was homemade.
No, I said, do you think
you just spoiled the illusion?
You think Dilsa's raising my two sons all day long? You think she has time to make a chicken lasagna from scratch? The woman does enough, Griffin. Jesus.
Was it okay? Oh yeah. So we're paying 50 cents or give or take for like those delicious tacos.
Amazing.
Here, I went to Sunfest and they had pretty good looking barbacoa tacos, but they were like $15 for two.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Everything's cheaper there, right? Like, I mean, like, okay.
Not everything. Like electronics,
if they
cars.
tell me it's that much, we're fighting.
Okay, let me ask you guys a question. Let me ask you a question. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, because it's a little bit personal. But okay, how long was it before you went there? Before you started working again?
So I worked for this company for 2 years.
But like when you went to Mexico, how long were you unemployed for in Mexico?
I worked for them for probably like the first 3 or 4 months.
Yeah,
and then I decided I knew I was going to have to be unemployed for a few months to find something else.
Yeah,
it takes a while. You got to like make a new resume and.
But what I'm getting at is like how much money did you need to sustain like a 2-month period of being unemployed in Mexico?
Much.
Like not much.
Yeah,
right?
really. Like maybe $800.
Cheap. Yeah,
$800 for 2 months.
No, like per month.
Oh, considering what things cost here, that's unbelievable.
And that's everything. That's utilities,
eating,
rent,
everything.
food,
Wow.
transportation, everything.
Amazing. So, I mean, and I think a lot of places are like that, right? Like, actually, I just got promotion at work. You guys know that. Bobchat doesn't know that, but the reason that this job became available is the guy's job that I got, he got a promotion to another job. That's why I got it, right? Because I applied and it was open. But the guy whose job he took, his mother had passed away, and he actually is a huge InfoWars guy. He's the one that put that InfoWars sticker on my car. If you don't know what InfoWars is, don't bother looking it up unless you want a good laugh. But yeah, he got a bunch of inheritance money and he said, "Fuck this, I'm going to Mexico." And he's like 55 and he just retired and went to Mexico.
That's like the main demographic.
There's a lot of people doing that.
Yeah,
it's very rare for someone to do like what we're doing.
There is,
you guys are young guys. You know what I mean? The world's your oyster, and fuck the shit out of it. Do whatever you want. Travel the world. Griffin's been all over the place.
There's a matrix.
I live vicariously through you guys. Well, what do you mean there's a matrix?
There's a matrix.
What pill did you take, bro?
Well, like what I notice when I come back is everybody like Canada is more career oriented and they're more community oriented, where the most important thing is life is the people, the connections you make and the people around you. Well, whereas here
people are selfish.
People will neglect their own families for like
material gain,
or where that's like unheard of there. Like, it doesn't matter what job you have. Like family comes. Your job is just how you make money.
Yes,
it doesn't mean anything.
You could be pissed broke at the end of the day, but as long as you have your family,
so
you're never.
What
really
I noticed
broke.
coming back here is that everybody's sucked into their matrix. Like they're just all in this weird path that hasn't even been decided by them. It's just what everyone else is doing.
Do you work in finance and smoke Belmonts? Yeah. Those fucking guys, guys I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, I live in Toronto. Well, do you smoke cigarettes? Yeah, Bellies, bro. Mm-hmm. I've never met someone from Toronto that doesn't smoke Belmonts.
Got the charcoal filter, bro.
And for anyone of our 33% demographic of American listeners, Belmonts are just like a top-end cigarette. So they're quite expensive. So...
Got the charcoal filter.
Charcoal filter, bruh. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being more family oriented, and I think that we would probably people would be happier if we put.
It's not just family;
Yeah.
it's community. So, for instance, but
everybody knows their neighbors, and you know.
Well, it's more than that, right? So, for instance, like here, it's like if you're gonna go out and do shopping and get groceries and stuff like that, you drive to the local supermarket and they have everything there, and you buy the stuff, and then you go home. But there, it's like every single like block, every little area has an independent like vegetable and fruit person,
different vendors,
an independent like butcher that's like a family run business. It's like how it used to be here in like back in the day when stuff was like local and everything wasn't a big corporation.
You know what really pisses me off a lot of the time, especially you guys probably don't notice this because you haven't been here for a while, but you go to the grocery store, okay? Number one, they never have that many registers open. There's always like only 2 or 3, even when there's a bunch of motherfucking people lined up. And then whatever happened to bag boys? Did we just decide that they're too good to pay people to bag our groceries?
Oh, for sure.
Like, dude, I go and I do a haul for everybody. I'm like, I go get groceries. it's like a $300 run, and I have like 4 reusable totes, like big fucking totes, and it's like, and then it's like you have to like rush to like start loading it while they're checking you out and then halfway through they're like, oh, we're ready to pay, and then you're just moving out of people's way and trying to get your shit done. It's crazy.
But also, they charge you for bags now, so it's
that's
like,
why
wouldn't you just put that towards?
Well, that's why I use the reusable totes. I've been using them forever, but the problem is that they don't have someone there to pack them for you, right? So it's like, remember that when you were kids, there used to be bag boy.
They still have that there in Mexico.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I think it's just like they make things cheap. Like people want cheaper at the end of the day over like convenient. Like,
I'm sorry, you're gonna put in self checkouts and expect me not to steal? Fuck you, Walter. I'm just kidding. I don't do that.
Like, I haven't bought deodorant in years.
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely throwing like that box of Tic Tacs. Like just throw.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? You know what else drives me nuts is that when you go to Costco. Okay, have you guys been to Costco?
Yes, but I only go and walk in the exit and use the restaurant.
So the thing about
hot
Costco
dog.
is that you can do like the self checkout. You can like sure they have people there, but I guarantee there's a fuckload of people stealing shit, man. Because you go to walk out and like they have people at the door that are supposed to look at your receipt and look at your card, but there's like just like every minute there's probably 20-30 people walking out, right?
I don't know though, because
no, but listen, but as you walk out, like, dude, I'll have a cart full of shit, like an unimaginable amount of things that you're gonna be able to check every single thing, and they just look at it and they just swipe it.
It's like security theater. That's what I was gonna say.
Security theater.
Because the thing
that's
is,
such a good way to put
anybody that can buy stuff at Costco has already like paid money to have a membership just for the privilege of being able to go in there and buy.
That's true. It's not very expensive though.
It doesn't. That's true, but I don't see the.
It's like $50 to $60 a year depending on your level, and then you can also they do a cash back thing. So like you set it up like not even through like your credit card or anything, but through Costco if you get a gold membership. So it's like $60 a year. I mean, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I paid $50 to upgrade it, so I don't know what she paid for the upgrade.
What do you get for the upgrade?
Basically, like you every dollar you spend, you get like X amount of cents, and basically it's like a cash back, but it's just from buying things there. So what they do is like they check at the end of the year, like they come up to you and they're like, oh, can we check your card number? They run it into the computer and like, oh, well, this is how much you spent this year, and like if you were to be on this program, you would spend an extra $15 to be on it, but you'd end up at the end of the year like getting like $100 worth of free shit. Or something like that, right? Like I don't know how it works. They just want you to come back because they fucking know they got you, man. You walk in there, good luck walking out there not spending $100, man. Especially you got 2 fucking babies, bro. What shit? Dog.
But everything's in bulk, right? So you have to buy sometimes more than you want.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on in the podcast room anymore. The studio has turned into almost. I believe my friend Josh put it the best on episode 37, Elvis on Vacation. But this is the catch-all, is what he called it. The room in the house where all the shit that you don't know what to do with goes. So like normally there's like big thing of paper towels, big thing of toilet paper. There's 2 sticks of body wash. There's 2 sticks of Lay's deodorant in there, and about 40 Duracell batteries, bro.
Last time I went to Costco, the candy blew me up. Like just like those huge tubs. Well, that's what Delissa had. Those sour keys.
I bought that for her.
It's like,
was that Costco though?
No, that was just at a variety store. I wish.
My God, was that $50?
Dude, $7.99. So I got Delissa this big bag of sour keys, $7.99, and like I think there's like easily like 100 sour keys in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't like
good
sour
deal.
keys.
I went to Shoppers recently, and I spent like $50 on like 3 things.
Me
So
too.
I was like, how does this?
Just like toiletry.
robbing
It was like $10 for a toothbrush.
Okay, so for
No.
people, for the listeners that don't know what shop, we actually have 3% of listeners in Germany. What up? What up, Germany?
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Das Auto.
But for the people that don't know, so Shoppers Drug Mart is basically what it sounds like. For American listeners, it'd be like a Walgreens, like basically. But yeah, just like a pharmacy / little grocery kind of stuff, and all the things that you would expect from a grocery store / pharmacy.
Did you hear they got approved to distribute marijuana?
Yes,
but only for medical purposes.
So yeah, marijuana is legal. So yeah, what's do you want to talk about the whole marijuana sitch in Mexico or no?
It's kind of all I'll
Don't
say.
incriminate yourself.
All I'm gonna say is the Supreme Court of Mexico last year gave the government, or the government had been given an ultimatum to legalize marijuana, and they didn't come up with a framework. So the Supreme Court just said it's now legal, but it's a very, very, very gray market.
Now let me ask you this: how hard did the Canadian weed slap when you got back
it's
here?
like I got to think of a way to an analogy to just
to
lay it
convey
down.
the level
The
of high.
first day, I got, oh my god.
It's the difference between eating a McDouble
Okay.
at 3 a.m. from McDonald's
When you're
that
drunk.
they kind of like fucked up. No, not when you're drunk, because it hits good when you're drunk.
Yeah.
When you're sober.
Okay,
When you're
3
sober.
a.m. sober McDouble.
Sober
if you're eating a
McDouble.
3 a.m. sober
It's-
McDouble,
it's like
you need
that.
to reevaluate your
Yeah,
life.
it's
dude.
like that. Comparing that to like a Kobe beef, like prime burger with like maple smoked bacon and like truffle.
Can I say something quickly? I really appreciate you going the meat analogy route because we love
Meat check.
meat check. Yeah, we love smoked meat at Bobchat. Actually, we're gonna do another brisket soon. I wish you guys were gonna be around longer, but
Just rub it in. Just rub it in.
we're gonna definitely rub in the seasoning on the
Oh,
brisket. It's Bobchat, baby.
There's a cat hair on the mic. Keeps tickling my nose.
I was like, are you all right?
No, this is brisket chat.
Yeah.
Bob's brisket
We
check.
got the meat. It's not,
Y'all got the animals up in this.
yeah, we do have. We have this is my house is
Dead and alive.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's in the freezer. The freezer stock. I'm going deer hunting, guys. Pretty excited about that. But Spence is dying. Do you want to hit the vape again?
No, I'm good. I'm vaped out.
You all right? Yo, I thought you blew clouds, bro.
You're right. I lied to everyone. I'm sorry. I'll be out of the country before you can do anything about it.
I'm moving to Mexico.
You should tell us a little bit about your new job. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's pretty exciting, eh? Like climbing the corporate ladder.
I am climbing I am slowly but surely, after working 9 years at my job, in a position to really be making some more money, and a avenue that is going to allow me to work my way into management, and hopefully, in the mid years of my lifespan, be able to make some really good money. So, I'm a raw material coordinator. So. Sounds exciting. It's like, so I was talking to Joel. The listeners know him, Joel, a.k.a. Tech Guy. You guys know Joel. Actually, I think you guys have been on an episode with Joel before.
Oh, yeah.
But I was talking to him, and he's like, I told him my title, and he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, I remember my dad telling me that, because his dad worked on airplanes, right? And he would just basically fix engines. So basically, middle management, what they do is, they don't put you on salary, but they give you like this fancy job title. It makes you sound important, but you're really just still a worker. But that's like the next step to moving up, right? His dad like worked on plane engines, and they called him like aeronautical engine engineer or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, like some ridiculously long title, because he worked Army. So yeah, basically I work at a pipe factory. I've talked about it before, but I never really explained the process. So we take like plastic pellets and like recycled plastic, and basically we blend them together, and they go into what's called an extruder, and then the extruder heats up the plastic and pushes it out into a mold, which then creates the pipe, right? So basically my job is to ensure that I have to like procure the material and ensure that we have enough material to produce everything that we're required to. And I also make like the schedules, right? So if you're working on this line, you're working on this line, I'm going to tell you exactly, like we have like big like feed silos full of pellets, we have box material, so I tell you what plastic you're supposed to use to make your product on your line. So it's really like I'm like an auditor, really. So I start my day. We have 2 plants, so I have to go to both of them, and I basically go around and I get I do like a physical count of our inventory, and then I have to update my physical count inventory sheet. And then we also have a program called Oracle, which is where we put all of our inventory onto the computer, right? So then I have to run a report and I have to check the numbers, make sure what they use matches what the inventory says that we have. And then if there's a discrepancy, it's then my job to investigate, figure out why. And
you're like a pipe plastic detective.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm a PPI.
A PPI.
Yeah, a pipe private eye.
So does the plastic, you said it's recycled, right?
So some of it depends on what kind of pipe that we're making. Like a lot of the pipe will be like 100% virgin plastic. But the company that I work for is like the largest recycler of plastic in North America.
And is it like cheaper to get the recycled stuff?
Well, it depends. So the reason that some of it's made with virgin plastics is that way it meets like CSA standards. But it's basically like so that if they're installing the pipe on a job site, it's rated. The CSA rating will allow it to take like a certain amount of weight. So if they're burying pipe on a highway and they're going to cover it with concrete and dirt and gravel and shit, they want to make sure that the pipe's not just going to collapse in on itself. So
for sure.
So we have to make it to a certain spec. And then it's got stamps on it so that when an engineer will go to a job site, they can sign off saying that it's certified for that specific application. So it sounds like more crazy and exciting. Like I would love to be like, welcome back to Bobchat Plastic Private Eye. Yeah. But it's not like that. It's like I'm basically like I'm just like a bean counter, but I'm like a
bean counter.
But I'm a plastic pellet counter.
Yeah. I just, for some reason, when you said recycled, I just imagined like all those plastic bottles and stuff.
So then
they just show up in this truck. And
so we get them we get them in like flake form. Yeah. So they would go to a plastic facility.
They already were processed.
They were already processed, ground up, cleaned, and then they're shipped to us in boxes. Okay. And it's weird though because a lot of this material, like you can tell, like sometimes you get a lot and it'll smell like soap and be shampooey, and then you'll get another lot and it's like, oh, this was definitely like fucking like milk cartons, dude, because it's stinks. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. It's back and forth, but it's really nice. I have an office now.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm up in like a crow's nest, like on the second floor. So I'm up in my ivory tower, looking at the scum peasants working on the floor.
That's actually pretty baller. You got your own.
So you don't
office.
drive a fork truck anymore?
No, I still get to drive like a small fork truck, like when I can. Actually, so yesterday we have 2 plants, and I'm the raw material coordinator. So I only have one boss now. I report directly to the plant manager, so I have to answer really to anybody else except for her. So nobody really ever questions what I'm doing now, or even cares what I'm doing, because none of them understand how my job works. Like I'm only 3 weeks in, but like it's not something that unless you sat down for weeks on end and were shown, you're not going to understand, right? So people don't really question what I'm doing. I could just go anywhere, and I know a lot of the guys that worked there for 9 years, right?
Yeah.
But so I had to go up to the other plant the other day, and I was like, fuck, I don't want to drive my car because I got to get gas on the way home, and it's like, 2-minute drive around on the road. So I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to waste more of my gas. So I'm looking for a golf cart. We got a bunch of golf carts. Oh, all the golf carts are gone. But then they got like they got a bunch of like F-150s, and they had, and I was just sitting outside, windows were down, keys were in the fucking cup holder. I'm like, all right, guess I'm taking the F-150 for a spin. And then my buddy Al's up at the North Plant, and then Al's been on an episode, Slaughterhouse Diaries. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's pretty funny. I talk about Al a lot. He's quite the character. But yeah, he's at the smoke pit, and I'm rolling up, and I got like my window out the F-150. I'm like, what do you think about my new ride? He's like, do you even do anything?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm here to check on you, bitch. But yeah, no, it's going good, man, and it's like sort of the next step in my career. And
did you cry when you got promoted?
No, I just immediately went to the bathroom at work and tugged one out.
I would have cried. I would have like hugged the boss.
Oh, you never use your own tears as lubricant?
Oh yeah, that's my favorite.
Only if they're tears of happiness.
The tears of joy just slap so much harder though, bro.
I guess part of what I was thinking about was just like I've never worked at a job for 9 years before.
Yeah,
and I
it's a
just
long
feel like
time.
that's like a really good way to show, okay, like I'm serious about this job and I'm serious about the people I work with.
Well, and to be fair, like, and I'll be honest, like I was pretty disgruntled for a while, but like, and it's a long story, I'm not going to get into it, but basically, the boss, he's my first supervisor there, and he's like, I got laid off like years ago, and then he's the one that called me back to be in the yard. That's how I started driving the forklift, and he eventually quit because I kind of pushed him out a little bit, and the guy that took over is just like a total idiot and basically ran our department into the ground for like 3 years. It was just so bad. Like, it's like basically you're working your ass off, getting no recognition, not getting raises, really. Like, it was terrible. So I was pretty upset for a while, and then I decided one day, I said, you know what, I'm done with the yard. And I said, you know, I went to my boss because it was the day that guy was gone, and I always picked up the slack, but I was getting like slammed that day. So I did it all, and it was like I did all the work, all the shitty stuff, because I was like the most senior guy. And I was like, all right, whatever. And I did, and I said, walked in there, I said, listen, man, I was like, I'm gonna go talk to Emily. I think I'm done being out here. So, well, okay, do what you got to do. Then I went and talked to her, and I was like, I'm serious about this. She's like, well, you can't go back. I'm like, I don't want to go back, because it was basically a dead end job. There wasn't really any room for growth there. So I knew that if I got back into the plant, that's where the growth was, right? So I went back in there. I worked for like 3 months. Dave went to Mexico. Matt got his job. I got Matt's job. And now I'm on that path to eventually, making $100K a year. And that's the thing about North America, especially, is that the more money you make, the less work you do.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right? The less work you do, because the higher up you are, the more people you have to delegate things to, right? So like my job now, it's like, okay, sure, I'm off the floor, but it's a very intense job. But the guy that used to do it now does this job. He even said to me, he's like, dude, my new job is way easier than that job, and he makes more money. Yeah. Right? So it's like,
but more responsibility, right? Like, if something goes wrong, it's on him.
Well, it's more or less that you're not, after this stage, you'd be at like a supervisor or a manager stage. So basically now your job is to not really do that stuff, but necessarily your job is to manage the people and delegate to other people to get those tasks done. Yeah. So basically you're not really doing the work. Your job is to manage the people. Right? So I mean, but that's dude,
I'm sure it comes with its own trials and tribulations.
Oh, for sure it does. For sure it does. Because if something happens, like, you have to report to the powers that be, and it's on your head, right? But anyways, yeah, like, it's so I was disgruntled for a while, but I went back in the plant. I proved myself. I improved my attitude. Like, having 2 kids is a pretty big wake up call, pretty fast, right? So I just put my priorities in place and realized that, if I want to continue to work here and have a career here, then I need to adjust my attitude and figure my shit out. And I did. They recognized that, and the opportunity presented itself. I applied, got the job, and now there's no looking back.
That's sweet, man.
Yeah, that's
I'm
it,
proud of
boys.
you, Bob.
Yeah, thanks, boys.
Congratulations.
I miss you fucking guys. I'm glad you guys came over. I want to hear more about Mexico, though. Come on, just give me a little bit more.
Oh yeah, okay.
Give me a little bit more of the enchilada.
I'm gonna kick off a story.
Yes, kicking off the story. What a crazy.
Can take it from a certain point. So I'll set the stage. We were on the coast.
On the coast.
Spence and my grandpa had gone off for a little motorcycle ride over the hill.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I was just hanging out with my grandma, helping her around the house and stuff. And some time had passed, probably been like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
So this is when you were just there.
Yeah, this was maybe like 4 months ago, 5 months ago, something like that. And but then Spence rolled up on the motorcycle, and I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was just normal. And I go over, because I just look again, and he's just covered in blood, blood everywhere. I'm like, Jesus Christ! And so I go
what
over.
Happened?
So I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So I go over and literally just pick him up and put him on the chair.
What the fuck is going?
Because I didn't know what was going
get off
on.
By myself, no.
Yeah, I didn't know what he had heard or what was happening. So I'm just all right, get him off of there, turn the motorcycle off. Grandma's a nurse, so that was really helpful. So she was coming over and checking to make sure nothing was broken and doing all that.
This is getting crazy.
But Spence was pretty he was pure adrenaline because I can't believe he actually even drove the motorcycle in that state because he was just he did it anyway. So he gets back.
What was I gonna do? Just sit there and
tell us what happened.
Okay, so my grandma comes out and she's checking him over, but it's there's a lot of blood. So I'm like, trying to clean off the blood, see what's like where the actual like injuries are.
Yeah.
And but then my grandma comes in and like, cause he's got gravel and shit in there too, cause he like got a bit of road rash.
Road rash,
a lot of road rash
is a motherfucker.
And so she comes and just starts pouring hydrogen peroxide all over him, like, and he just. Like, of course, he fucking yells because it's fucking hydrogen peroxide.
It was like
all deep
Saving
cuts.
Private Ryan.
Yeah, like, and it's just bubbling and all of this
sick
shit.
reference, Spence.
And so, but we realized pretty quick that he's got to at least go to the hospital to get checked out.
Oh, for sure.
And so I ran up to our place.
So where was your grandpa?
So we'll get to that.
Okay. Oh my God, I'm worried about him. I'm so worried about him.
Yeah, because that was the thing.
Back.
Because that was the thing, right? Because it was just Spence. We're like, where's grandpa?
Oh my God.
And so but he needed to go to the hospital, so I went and got the car from our place, which is in the same town on the coast, but like a few blocks up.
Okay.
So I went and got the car, brought it back, told my parents that they're gonna need to come like drive them. So they got ready really quick, grabbed what they needed, came over. We got him in the car, and they went off. And then my grandma and I were gonna go look for our grandpa because they're like, "Where's grandpa?"
Yeah, wow.
And but
I'd be so scared. I'd be terrified, dude.
But luckily, just as we were going over the hill, he came past us and he went back because he went back looking for Spence.
Oh, he was on his own motorcycle too.
Yeah.
Okay, thank God he was all right. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, he was
now,
okay,
too.
and Spence was okay. But even show him your hand, like
So
his hand was the worst.
Oh my God, what happened?
So I guess we kind of told this story like.
So that was my perspective. So now Spence can.
So
I think the most important thing is like my grandpa's not like 90 something.
And he's still riding motorcycles.
And he's
like
still
a
riding
badass
motorcycles,
motherfucker,
right?
man.
But we've been doing that with him since we were young. Right?
Yeah.
And we've gotten progressively better at riding. Where he's starting to get a little bit older, it's starting to get a little bit harder for him.
Yep.
So, for me, like it's a hard process to go from like, I guess him being kind of like the boss to like where
now
so I kind of gotta watch out a little bit, and he's kind of like a little bit shaky, and we don't want to go too fast.
His vision is going.
But for the most part, I was like
responsible.
I want to go on like a motorcycle. Like I'd been going on. We went on like a couple trips before that, so I was feeling like confident.
Yep.
And basically, he has this little like 49cc like kind of mopedish thing, and then there's this other bike, and he's not allowed to ride that bike. Like it's too powerful, too heavy now.
Yeah.
And we got like maybe like a kilometer in, and he was like, "Hey, like, don't tell your grandmother. Like, let me get on the other bike." And I was in this weird position because it's like it's his bike. He's like this. He's been riding since he was like.
Yeah.
Like it was like, what am I gonna tell my grandpa? Like, no, you're too old.
Yeah.
Like that just wouldn't.
You're too old to ride your
well.
own motorcycle, Grandpa.
So, I was like, there's no like we're just going like on this little trip. Like we should be fine. Like, and I mean he was, but the problem was. So what happened basically is we were on a highway on motorcycles, but not going highway speeds. Like we were on the side of the road. And there's this one section of the highway, like veterans when you get off, like it's like a ramp,
it's like a
right?
Turn
yeah,
off.
so it's basically it's like a turnpike off of it.
Like motorcycles don't go on that. That's for like vehicles, right?
Yes.
But we went on that.
Oh no!
And basically, a truck, big coconut truck, wasn't expecting
a truck
guy,
full of coconuts.
Yeah, wasn't expecting a guy like a friggin' gringo guy on a little scooter to be there. So I had about like 30 seconds to decide if I was going to get hit by this truck or I was going to ride off the side of it. It was like it's elevated.
Oh,
and then there's like
a ditch.
A metal guard and some gravel, and then it's just like a hill with grass or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just went like, fuck it. Like I just yeeted off the side of the road.
Oh my God.
And then just I fell on my left side and I went over the handlebars and like the bike kind of rolled
So
a
now
bit.
was he coming towards you like head on? Or
so
he was
like,
behind
it's
you?
It's a curve going this way to the right.
Okay, yeah.
And the truck whipped around the corner and only saw me at like the last second to swerve to didn't actually hit me. The truck didn't actually hit me.
No, but
if I hadn't have moved, it wouldn't have had enough. If I hadn't have been going this way and him going this way,
he would have smoked
probably
you.
Clipped the back of the scooter. But he basically.
So you basically had to sacrifice the.
I just decided I was like, I'll probably like skin one of my arms or like I won't die though probably.
So now, where was your grandfather at this point? Was he like up there?
He was a little bit further than me.
So he was okay. So you were just trying to catch up on the
yeah,
smaller
because
bike.
like he's faster than me, right? So
Yeah.
I'm full throttle, and the bike flipped over me and covered all my wounds in gasoline, right? The gas tank popped off. So I had all this gasoline all over me.
Oh my god.
And all I was wearing was a white cutoff.
Did you have a helmet on at least?
Yeah.
Okay,
I was wearing a white cutoff and shorts, so I had no protection. It was full, like my whole hand right here, you could like see into it.
I don't think most people most people don't think about putting on full leather garb when they're riding
But
motorcycles.
you do see guys there too.
You
do see guys wearing it, and I know why now.
Yes,
The guys that like have serious sports bikes down there and go on the highway, they wear a full.
They all wear it,
even though you're gonna like
the air going that fast is honestly enough.
Yeah, exactly. See, you always think about that. You see guys and like it'll be like 30 degrees outside, but they're wearing all leather. But you think once they get going, like the wind, right? They'll cool them down. So, oh my God. So after the coconut truck went by,
so I'm you know when you like. There's that second where you just know, I fucked up.
Yep.
I knew.
I definitely know that.
I felt my balance. I think my back tire started skidding, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to. I'm going.
So how fast do you think you were going?
60.
Like kilometers?
60, 70, maybe.
Kilometers or miles?
We full throttle on a highway with a bike with a 125. Trying to keep up.
So
and it has like kind of fat tires, so they don't really do well on
How many
gravel.
cc's is the other bike?
It's only 49.
No, the big one is like 350.
So 350, so he can get up to 100, no problem.
Like I was going so fast, it was like wobbling.
Speed wobbles, yeah. Wow.
But basically, like I hit the ground and I just kind of like laid there for like I was like, oh
and
my God.
Did your grandpa not know because he was ahead of you, right?
Yeah, he had no clue.
So he just kept going.
He probably went the whole. Didn't even look back once.
Yeah.
And this truck just was like, I don't got this kind of money to like. They don't.
So they just left. He just left me there.
He knew that truck knew, like saw everything. Like I know they saw me like.
Only 30% of vehicles on the roads in Mexico have insurance.
Yeah.
What a fascinating statistic.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
That's what the insurance guy told my grandma.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what's the point of even buying insurance if no one else has it?
Well, like, okay, wait, I might have actually got that right.
Okay, let me finish the story and then you can
There's
get
a
into,
large
like,
percent. It might have actually been 70%.
We've been watching too much Young Sheldon.
Yeah. It might have even been that 70% have insurance. But either way, like here, 100% of people have insurance. There's a lot of cars you see don't even have license plates.
Well, because chances are if the cops pull them over and find out they don't have insurance, they're not going home with a ticket or getting their car impounded.
It really depends. Like sometimes there's big like blitzes where they'll like take a big flatbed truck and drive around and just take anybody's motorcycle that has doesn't have a license plate or insurance or whatever. But I'm pretty sure you could just go to an auction afterwards and like buy your bike back for like $100.
Yeah, that's crazy. So tell us the rest of the story, Spence. So then what happened? So he just kept going. Didn't even toss you a couple coconuts or something?
No, he just kept going, and I realized like I would laid there for probably like 4 minutes. My arm was bleeding a lot. Like it was like drip.
Oh my
so
God.
I was kind of like I didn't really have anything to
nothing.
wrap around it or anything. So I was just sitting there. I was probably like 20 minutes from our house.
Oh my God.
And I was like 20 minutes to half an hour. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to, like, and also the bike was,
all fucked
off,
up.
Kind of like it like hit the metal part and it kind of like
flipped
like
over.
I didn't even know if it would work. And it was on its side and the gas tank is in the seat.
Yeah.
So it was just leaking out.
Oh no.
So then I saw that and I went, okay, I got to go like lean it up so it doesn't, like gas isn't getting everywhere. And then I ended up getting more gas on my shit trying to put it back up, and that started burning like really bad.
Yeah.
And the problem was like my finger was fucked, and luckily
did you break anything?
No,
just
luckily. But the brake for the bike is on the left side, so like I couldn't squeeze.
Oh.
So I was using my foot as like a brake. Like kind of like when you have a BMX bike. Like I was just going kind of
scraping your
slow
foot
and like scraping my feet because I tried a couple times. Like I went like this.
Yeah.
And then was braking with my other hand.
Oh my God.
But basically,
crisscrossing the arms. Yeah.
I realized I'm either gonna sit here in the sun with like gasoline all over my wounds and
bleeding out
whatever
on the side of the highway in Mexico.
Yeah. Or I could put the stupid gas tank on. It was like a little bent or whatever, and it started up, and I just took it easy. Like on the way back, I've never had more. Like people were just getting the fuck out of my way because they saw me like white, kind of covered in blood, like
shirt.
Dripping,
It's
literally like
oh my God.
like everywhere I was going was just dripping all over me, and like people's faces were just like go.
Didn't you tell me there was like you're in an intersection and then like some woman made eye contact with you?
Yeah. Well, usually like you can't get past this intersection. You gotta wait like a really long time. Yeah. It's the first time like I just showed up and people just stopped and were like go.
Yeah.
You know, because they're like you need to go somewhere.
To the hospital.
So it was a very like uncomfortable drive back, and I was very like upset with just like the whole situation, and then by the time I got back to the house though, I was just like exhausted. Like I lost a lot of blood.
Yeah, dude, fuck, it sounds like
and like I was just like pissed off at like the truck because I was like in Canada, like whoever the person would have stopped like 100%, you know, and I was like that person's like. Yeah, like I could never like do that to someone and like keep going. I feel like there's no other cars. Like no other cars came by the whole time I was laying there. Like that's kind of the reason I was gonna wait for someone to be like, hey, can you give me a ride? Yeah, because there's tons of trucks that drive by. Yeah, I didn't see any. It's a very like
secluded highway, kind of like a.
It's not secluded. It's just there's not much traffic.
Because he was right on a turnoff. Like, where it's like
unless you're turning off, you're not gonna go by me. Yeah. So I was like, I'm not just gonna sit here in the sun and like wait.
Die.
I don't think I would have died or anything, but
you would have some serious damage to your body.
Yeah.
Right. Like. So how long after you got back were you able to get medical attention? Like.
I basically just got back. I was just kind of like hopped up, and then they hit me with the. Fucking
the peroxide.
That sucked, and then after that I was fine. I felt like I calmed down a bit.
Yeah, well,
no, it was because the very first thing we did was give him 2 like Tylenol 5s.
Yeah.
Oh, that code. What's that, Cody?
It was like my whole arm here. Like you can kind of see the scar and like my whole leg here.
Well, I'm glad you're okay, Spence. Fuck.
Yeah, also like it as terrible of a situation as that was, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, that's what they said at the hospital. They're like, I don't even see. You don't even got bones sticking out of your arm. Get out of here. What are you doing? Don't come back.
They're like
Stop wasting our time.
They're roasted him because they're like, we've seen like 5 worse motorcycle accidents like today.
Yeah,
they're like, you're an idiot. Like you're really wasting our time right now. Like,
so what did they expect you to do?
They expected us to just go to a pharmacy, get our own bandages, clean our own shit.
Really?
They didn't think. Like to me, it seemed quite bad, but to them, they'd seen way worse.
Yeah,
in that day.
Yeah, okay. So that's right. But did they end up helping you or no?
They did the first time. The second time, they told me to they're like, don't come back.
Did you go back to get it like cleaned and rebandaged and stuff? Yeah.
The second time even the first time they didn't even want me there. But the second time they're like, we don't have time for this.
I think it's because it was like the emergency room.
Yeah.
Like the
but if you were here and that happened, I would immediately go to the emergency room.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think twice about it.
I think part of the reason was I was so high that I was laughing. Like I was just like, look at this.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean. And they're like, if you're laughing, like you shouldn't be here. Basically, they were like, if you're laughing your ass off, like you're not. It's not serious.
I self-medicated before I came.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. That's fucking crazy, man. Jesus. Mm-hmm. Wow.
I still want to get another motorcycle though.
Yeah,
I'm not done. Like I just have so much more respect for
dude,
all that.
And I'll give you a round of applause for fucking champing it out and riding that thing back.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that part.
Dude, that's pretty intense. Yeah, right. But that's
it's like, what were my options, Bob? Like,
yeah, really. No, I know, and
you go into this like kind of like, okay, we gotta do this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like what if you're in a shipwreck and you can see land? It's like you're swimming.
Yes.
Like
you're just gonna sit there and wait.
Like what? No. I'm just gonna lay in the ocean. Like you're gonna like get this adrenaline rush and you're just gonna start swimming.
Adrenaline's crazy, man. Adrenaline is fucking nuts. Yeah. Like if you're scared enough or you're in enough pain or you know what I mean. Like
I forgot to say I didn't even feel the pain until like Griffin pulled me off the bike.
Yeah.
I didn't even because when I showed up, like I wasn't even like yelling or anything. But as soon as you took me off the bike, it like set in.
Yep.
Because it's like you made it there.
Yeah.
Yes. Like yeah. Your body was almost like subconsciously like just get back and just get back home, right?
I felt really bad for my grandpa too because he like I feel like he
didn't know where you
were.
Well, You know, but you know what? It's if
that
anything,
is
I blame the coconut truck
Yeah,
driver.
Yeah,
no, for
for
sure.
sure.
But that is a kind of a general rule of thumb, like when you're going on a motorcycle ride, like with multiple people, because it happens where the bikes break down or something happens.
Yeah.
If you're not within visual contact for a certain amount of time, you go back.
Yes.
Which is what he tried to do, but by the time he had done that, Spence had already turned off to come back to
And
our
went
place.
back,
So he went back when he had already.
Wow.
It was
It was
just
such
bad.
a weird drive
bad
back too.
timing.
Like,
I
like
bet.
just everybody was staring at me. Like
Yeah.
nobody really offered me help too. Like they all just kind of were like, I don't want smoke. Kind of like
get away from
get
us.
away from me. Yeah.
Wow. That's
Or
great.
like they usually are very like, they'll pass motorcycles, no problem. Like they'll just zip by you. They're all like very weary to pass me.
Yeah.
Like
Somebody
there's
already
a bunch
hit
of
this
cars
guy.
behind
But
me.
like the thing too is like imagine like if you just saw some dude like just casually like riding a motorcycle in London, like London, Ontario, just like
I was
covered
also
in blood,
swearing a lot.
just
I was
covered in blood, swearing.
Like I was like pissed off, and I was like yelling in English, and they're probably just like, "What is going on?"
Yeah, because they might not even understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Amazing.
No, I think pretty much everybody everywhere understands English swear words.
Like what? Give us an example. Fuck. Before you guys go, why don't you tell me what's been your favorite thing about Mexico? Pictures the
it's kinda-
margaritas.
It's kind of hard to just pick one thing. Like there's a lot of benefits. So it's just like I've said this a lot of times, but like out of all the places I've been, every single place has pros and cons. There's no perfect place.
Except Switzerland.
Even Switzerland, man, everywhere.
Do you tell me what's wrong with Switzerland?
Their cheese has holes in it.
They all have automatic rifles.
That's actually, I love that about them.
So yeah, why don't we?
The mandatory.
Tell us. Yeah, so they all have mandatory military training, and then basically once they for the listeners, I know you guys are aware. So they have mandatory military training, and then once they complete that training, they get to keep their armaments that they're supplied while they're in the military. So basically, every citizen in Switzerland has like a fully automatic machine gun in their house, so they could like assemble like a militia and like that.
If they get invaded or
Mhm.
something.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. Everybody goes after their gold. All their fucking Nazi gold.
Another interesting thing is Switzerland, and I believe some of the other countries that like bordered the former Soviet Union, they to this day still have all of their bridges, train tracks, like major infrastructure wired to explode
at any given time.
As
like a failsafe.
Yeah, like they would trigger it. Like if they're like get the word that there's like an invasion coming in, they would blow all the bridges so that they can't. Especially Switzerland, it would be like so difficult to invade them because it's all mountainous and stuff there.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, so what? So you don't have any one thing in particular that
I have one thing.
Yeah, tell us, Spence. What's one of your favorite things about living in Mexico?
It might sound dumb,
No,
but it's the fact that it's not Canada.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I like getting a break from everything that I know.
Rat race.
No, it's not even that. It's like it's nice. A lot of times you get kind of complacent.
Yes.
And it's nice to like once in a while. Like I love Canada. Like obviously there's a lot of things going on. I don't
we
agree
know
with,
we
but,
know
like,
you're
this
not
is where I
talking
grew up.
shit.
This is like my home.
I get it.
I love it, but I think it's really good to get a break every once and realize like all the things in your world. You're just like a bean in a big pile of beans.
You're just a single plastic pellet.
And I like getting like a reality
pile.
check. It's like a reality check. Like it's like a slap in.
You get so set into a routine, right? Like you get, like living here. It's like you see the same people, you drive the same routes, you do the same thing, you shop at the same stores, all right. And it's like that's just the way that it is when you live anywhere. But it's when you go to a new place, it's like you learn those new systems, you build those new routines, and that in and of itself,
Like here, I know where everything is.
Yep. It's almost like it's like an adventure.
Yeah,
it's an adventure. Yeah,
it's like a reset. It feels like a reset whenever I go, and then I come back and I kind of feel like a shell of the person I was when I lived here, which is kind of like a whole other thing. But I don't feel like the same person.
Yeah. Well, because you're growing and you're experiencing new things, and I'm a firm believer that even if you do get complacent and you get caught in a routine, there's still an opportunity every day to learn and better yourself and to grow, right? But it's obviously it's easier when you're in a new environment and you have to adapt.
It forces you to.
It forces you to do things
adapt.
that would make you like really nervous and things.
Exactly.
You got no choice. You got to do it.
Like, did you ever think that you'd be in a situation where a Mexican girl's father was going to potentially kill you with a meat
beat you to
cleaver?
death with a 2x4?
But that's.
I used to be like, when I was here, I would be very anxious. I feel like it helped a lot with like anxiety. It's just having to do all these things that.
Well, and I could totally see that. I can totally see that.
I remember being like antsy to like make a phone call where I had to talk or something. And that's
like every day you're doing something that you're like, oh, this is kind of making me uncomfortable.
I don't want to do this. Yeah. Oh no! Now we just send emails. At work, it's like, oh, I'll just call him. No, just send an email.
The funny thing too is like for me, honestly, like you're asking us about like the differences between like Canada and Mexico, but it's really funny because at this point, I'd say I'm so used to the way Mexico operates and like the way things are there that it's almost like culture shock coming back here.
I agree.
You come back here and you're like, I can just walk into the store and buy weed. What?
There's that, but then I can't walk out with booze.
It's the people that I feel the most like culture shocky with.
Yeah, sorry. Am I Bobchat culture shocking you guys?
No, because we know you. Like I'm talking like I went out to the bar recently and I don't know anybody really anymore.
Yeah.
So I just went out and just talking to all different people.
Yeah.
And that's where I felt like the most weird.
Yeah.
It's
totally.
it's not about like the place. It's like
the people.
The people kind of, Yeah.
Well, people have different mindset, right? And it's like there's almost more. I think that like I can't speak personally, but it seems like almost people are more laid back and relaxed in Mexico. It's not so much of. Like a lot of people can be arrogant and can be self-centered here.
I think I can pinpoint it. So the thing that I totally forgot about that just doesn't exist there is whenever you meet a new person here.
Yeah.
What's the first question you ask?
What's your name?
It's usually
what's your name?
What's your name followed by what do you do?
Yeah.
And everybody has this like monologue.
Yes.
Like it's like this and they always say it in like a customer service kind of voice.
Yeah, it's
like, what do you do?
Tailored to meet new people.
I'm the executive, blah 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 of blah blah. I've done this.
Yep.
I like to like it's
You're
almost
like hyping yourself
everybody
up.
always has this like and I hadn't experienced it in like 9 months, and everybody I talked to had this like monologue, and it was just like it just weirded me out. I totally forgot it. Like I probably was even guilty of it while I was here.
So now what are the interactions like in Mexico then?
It's never about that, man. You don't even like getting to
it's
like you don't even talk about anything
thing.
really.
It's not about like you're not it's not like that's what's the word?
Someone's like, hey, this is how much respect I'm going to give you based on your monologue. We all have one.
Yeah, based on your profession or what you've. Basically, people base your success around your professional accomplishments.
It's almost like they want to know before so that they can then decide their next step in this conversation.
Oh, am I?
Because when they don't know, they get like sometimes I would just like change the subject, and it's like I could tell they were like, no, like I need to know. You know what I mean? It's weird. And I just weirded me out a bit.
Well, it's because
it's not about people anymore. It's like
they care more about what you do.
They care more about what you do, and it's not even like a job. It could just be like because you could just be in school or something.
Whoa, do you have a podcast?
Yeah, but it's like
so hot right now.
I'd say another really big difference, like as far as communicating with people, is like down there. Like when you walk past somebody, like you say, like
always
hey, like
say hi.
You say hey, like good afternoon, right?
Make eye contact.
Maybe even have a little conversation or something. But like here, it's like weird. If
eyes
you, like,
down.
Well, it's like if you walk past somebody on the sidewalk, you say hey, good afternoon, how are you doing? To some random person, it weirds them out. But like I'm so used to doing that.
I don't have any change. Okay.
It's just cultural differences, you know.
Well, listen, I'm glad that you guys agreed to come and be on and give us a little, myself and the Bobchat listeners, a little insight into your adventures in Mexico, your Mexican escapades.
I'll do it next year. I'll have just 2 stumps. 2 stumps.
Yeah, I told you.
Damn it, Bob, I did it again.
I told you I wasn't done riding motorcycles.
He took up parasailing.
This year I rode the pavement.
So yeah, would you guys? Why don't you give us a phrase in Spanish? Give me something good. Someone know about
Me
Bobchat.
encanta chorizo.
I love chorizo.
Plumo plata.
Say something cool about Bobchat. I just want to hear a bunch of Spanish words with the only one.
I hate when people ask to do it because it's like
but I just want give me a sentence. I want to hear something cool about Bob. I want to hear a bunch of cool Spanish words and then only understand the Bobchat.
Gente, escucha a Bobchat, el
Todos los
podcast
días.
número uno en Canadá.
Can you say that again?
No.
I'm gonna cut it as a soundbite.
Okay.
El primero podcast en Canadá. Bobchat.
Hola amigos. No.
That was good. Come on, Griff.
El primero podcast en Canadá, Bobchat. Escucha. Todos los lugares hay internet.
What does that mean?
It's like you can listen to all the places that have internet.
Oh, perfect. Okay, awesome. Well, listen, I love you guys. I'm glad you came. Just remember, Bobchat listeners, a burrito is just a rolled up taco. A tostado is an unfolded taco. And nachos are broken tacos. It's all tacos. Everything is tacos. Good to see you guys. I love you. Thanks for coming over. Do you want to say goodbye?
Love you too, Bob. Thanks for having us on.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Good time as always, and we'll have even more exciting stuff to talk about next year when we come back.
And if we've been talking about me and Delissa possibly going and visiting you guys in Mexico, so I'll be bringing some portable equipment and we'll be doing Bobchat on low motherfucking cation
Mexican honeymoon
in Mexico.
Adios.
All right, see you guys. Bye.
Buenas noches.
I want my podcast and my lady, simple life, but not too crazy. I'm slim, but I ain't shady. Fuck you if you hate me. I'm rocking the mic, cause it's Bobchat, baby.
El primero podcast en Canadá, Bobchat. Escucha. Todos los lugares hay internet.